So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, which is my favorite time to work. And today I made a feather pattern. Well, no, I started making feather pattern Damascus, and I've got the billet there that's been cut in half. And I'll post some shorts because the whole video is 16 minutes, but it really was shitty because I just didn't have it prepared properly. So I'm going to do this ask about face and say, what did I learn about feather pattern Damascus and what not to do? Where to begin? Yeah, I've just seen the shirt I'm wearing. It's my going out shirt. It's the new collared one. Anyway, I think that the key here is I'll show you my setup of what I've got and how I put it together, and then I'll be able to see where I went wrong, because I think the preparation of the billet and everything else was cool. It wasn't too much of a huge issue there. Obviously, you've got to make sure your welds are good and all the other shit that's normal, but let me switch you over and then, okay, so here's my press, right? It's an H-frame or whatever it's called. I think it's H-frame. But my daylight, or my travel over there is only about 25 centimeters from the bottom of this die to the top of that die there. That's without anything in them, you know. That's a problem. So you can't really do a very long billet of steel. So that's something I don't quite know how I'm going to get around in time. But certainly not a problem for right now. That's not really an issue right now. I suppose I could probably just take this bottom section off, because this actually comes off. You know, I can slot this one over here out, and I can take this out, and I think that'll give me a bit more travel, but I need to just review that. So a few things I need to look at. One is when removing forging material to the place where you want to cut it, no problem. When you want to hold your cutting tool in your hand so that you have more control, because I've seen oaks go, the problem then becomes of holding the material, one hand, holding the cutting thingy, two hands, operating that lever, three hands. Now, if I look at myself, that's number one, and that's number two. So I'm short a hand if I want to make that work. And pause for dog to be let in. And return to this thing. So this, unfortunately, doesn't, spring back up where it goes straight back up. It sort of goes down, neutral, and then up, neutral. So that's cool. So today what I did was on a scale of 1 to 10 of pretty fucking amusing things to have done to myself. If I can find what I was using, it's on the floor here somewhere. Usually, I leave these things lying around to trip myself up. But what I had done in order to give myself said extra hand, by the way, that's there for my dog to line, is I used wire, which I then wound around there, hung down, and made a stirrup for my foot. Now, when all of this is being done in a rush, when you stick your foot into the stirrup and you pull down, what happens is that wire tends to clamp around a work boot, and I was wearing, work boots, like as in not Crocs, and was happily working for the 1.5 minutes of trying to, get it down. The problem obviously being that the stirrup then tightens on your boot, and you can't get your fucking boot out of this steel piece of wire while trying to get stirrup. You know where it's going to go anyway. A duck of clusters. So I need to make a foot pedal for this, and I don't think that's a big issue, because it just needs to be a up-down sort of thing. I need to be able to get my foot in there, down, up, something along those lines. The only concern I have is my travel here is a fair whack. Although I'm assuming when I get to a certain point, it's all the same speed, I would assume. So I need to just investigate that. So that's a big learning curve. Wow, the other learning curves, man, better preparation. So I got my billet out a couple of times and hadn't turned my forge on, because I don't leave my forge running. It's an 11 kilowatt motor. I don't know what that does to ESCOM. Probably someone will have a crap in their pants if I leave it running. So yeah, getting a billet out, realizing you got to work hot, getting it in there, and then realizing you should have turned your forge on. That was a problem. So that was lesson number 304 of the day. filming for YouTube because I want to move my platform to YouTube. I've got 1,000 subscribe. What do you call them? I don't know. 1,000 people following me on Instagram, which is really awesome. It's been a year, and it's been a cool journey doing that. But Instagram is somewhat limiting, and if you've got a knife on Instagram, they just like to fuck you up with it, and it's just pointless. It really is. So YouTube is a different kind of story, and so I think because it's not just shorts, it's got to be better production value, and there's a lot more work that goes into it. So camera prep, all that sort of stuff has got to be correct. And if you can see over there, I've got one of those, I don't know, lighty gizmos. So I can probably put up like 1 or 2 cameras. I don't know how to edit yet, so that's going to be another story in fucking humility. Pretty much like everything. So preparation is a key. Obviously, I made a cutting tool, kept forgetting to put that in the water. Didn't get stuck, thankfully. I just really took it quite slow. Didn't go into the middle. Why? Because I didn't mark a middle line on my billet. So I didn't go down the middle. Gas was running out, so I didn't check that. Yeah, I think feather pattern Damascus is a lot more intensive from a labor perspective. When it comes to, you're going to be running in and out of your forge. Your press needs to just be on. How do you deal with that from noise for filming? I don't know. Gas, double check it. I was welding a handle on and off it. I know it sounds silly, but because I was sort of running, I don't have tongs that go around my billets. And also the problem is, so let's just call that the mouth of my forge is only yay wide, or yay high. So getting in and out of there with something that can grab around something is a bit of a problem. So I faced a whole plethora of issues that I haven't really had to deal with before. And challenging in so much that it was just a whole new set of things to deal with. But I think my next pattern, or my next feather Damascus, hopefully, less irritation intensive. And then also, just keeping your workspace around this clean, because it really is a lot to deal with in one space when you don't have enough hands. So what did I learn today? Also, let's go back, way back. So I'd done all my steel layers, made it into a sort of half towery thing. And so now I'd made a sort of square, which isn't really ideal, because I don't know if you want to be cutting a square or you want to be cutting something that's sort of oblong or rectangular. So that's going to be interesting. When I put this together, we'll sort of share that journey together. If it doesn't come out very well, I'm just going to say it was eaten by the dogs. I'm sorry, it was lost. I dropped it somewhere. Or it'll just be fucking straight lines of some shit. So it's like a bit more pre-planning for that. I think with Damascus, just pattern welding, and with mosaic, I suppose a lot of planning, but it's kind of very structured. This is a lot more do quick, move this, do that, and I think you've got to be really on point with that. So in this 8 minutes of wasting your fucking time, which I apologize for, that's a lot that I've had to sort of get my head around to get this right, which I suppose is a really cool challenge. So let's see where it all goes, man. But thanks for joining me. And if you think this content is of any value to you, please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. I don't have Patreon, I don't have merchandise, but one day maybe I will. My shirts will probably say, yes, I'm also an idiot, or, along those lines. But kind of appeals to my sense of humor. Anyway, thanks for watching.